Hi everyone, my name is Oyedeji. Yesterday, I will be taking epidemiology. Our discussion will be based on epidemiology, concepts of epidemiology, and epidemiological theories. So let's proceed. Outline of the presentation: introduction, definition, uses of epidemiology, core epidemiologic function. We'll talk about types of epidemiology. I will also discuss epidemiological triad. Okay, let's proceed. At the end of this presentation, you should be able to define epidemiology, enumerate the uses of epidemiology, state the core epidemiologic functions. You should be able to describe the types of epidemiology, explain the epidemiology triad, and itemize various epidemiological theories. Introduction. Public health is concerned primarily with prevention of disease in human population. It differs from clinical medicine both in its emphasis on prevention rather than curative and treatment. So it focuses more on population rather than individual patients. Epidemiology provides the basis for describing, explaining disease occurrence in a community. Public health problems from an epidemiological perspective helps us to understand their potential significance and impact through comparison of epidemiological measures such as incidence, prevalence, mortality rates. We can identify potential risks, groups, and perhaps begin to explain the reasons behind differences in disease occurrence. Epidemiology is as important to public health because it provides a basis for developing, for prioritizing, and evaluating public health programs. Public health programs should be developed based on the need of the people in the community, and the approach of epidemiology is helpful in needs of assessment. What is epidemiology? Epidemiology can be defined as the study of distribution and determinants of health-related states, conditions, or events in specific populations, and the application of the results gotten from the study to control of health problems. What are the uses of epidemiology? Epidemiology and information generated by epidemiological methods have been used in so many ways. Some of the common uses are: you use it to assess the community's health, making individual decisions, completing clinical pictures, and searching for causes. In the mid-1980s, five major epidemiological tasks in public health were identified, and they are the public health surveillance; two, field investigation; three, analytic studies; four, evaluation; five, linkages; and the sixth one that was recently added is policy development. Now let's move on to types of epidemiological studies. The types of epidemiological studies are epidemiological studies, descriptive studies, analytical studies, and um and analytical studies. Now let's move to epidemiological triad. Looking at this diagram, epidemiological triad can be divided into three: the environment, the agent, and the host. Looking at the diagram, they are interrelated. That is, the environment, agent, and host are interrelated. It involves the host, the host, the environment, and the agents. So they are all interrelated. Then what are the roles of a nurse in epidemiology? As a nurse, you have so many roles to play as an epidemiologist and as a nurse. You have a preventive role, promotive role, curative role, and rehabilitative role. Talking about the epidemiology theories, models of disease causation theories is a model representing a system that specifies its components and the relationship among the variables. 19th century's models, each effort to prevent disease in the 19th century was based on one of the other three theories of disease causality, and we have contagion theory, supernatural theory, personal behavioral theory, and miasma theory. Now, contagion theory. Let's look at contagion theory. Contagion theory was common at the beginning of 19th century. Most official disease prevention activities were based on hypothesis. They were being hypothesized that illness is contagious, and it required keeping sick people away from people that are not sick. Then the institution of quarantine was established. The traditional period was 40 days quarantine. Then they do spend 40 days. So during which time ships, their crews, and cargoes waited offshore or at some isolated island. What am I saying? Contagion theory. It, it hypothesized that when a sick when someone is sick, you separate that person, the sick person, from people that are well, and then they do keep them in a ship, including all the cargoes, so they won't allow them to mingle with unsick people. So setting up military cordons around infected towns, isolation of household if they were infected, and fumigating and washing the bedding and clothing of the sick. So all the used linens, all the used articles will be separated because they are being referred as infected articles. So they will be washed, they will be fumigated in order to curtail the spread of disease. Okay, so the problem confounded the acceptance of this theory. There are many instances that where people become sick regardless of their isolation from human contact. So many people did not accept this theory because some people get to know that um even the when the sick people mingled with those that were not sick, then some people did not catch the infection. Okay, so there's supernatural theory. The proponents of this theory argues that supernatural forces cause disease. You could say in so many places in our religion houses, if someone is sick, they will say it's the work of the devil. Maybe the person is being tormented by devil or evil spirits. So disease prevention measures based on the theory were important to the religious people. Okay, the religions among them was the disease is a punishment for transgression of God's law. Another one, which is the third theory, is personal behavior theory. This theory held that disease results from wrong personal behavior. It was a democratic and anti-authoritarian in intent, since it gave responsibility to individuals to control their own lives. In the formulation of the source of the disease was tied to up the mysterious way of God. Instead, people caused their own disease by living fully unhealthy. Hence, improper diet, lack of exercise,